I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse.
No,
No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go. You find him. George, no, go get him. Go get him. I said.
All right, guys. So we're going to be looking at this clip of George Janko talking about the situation between Bobby Lee and Logan Paul, and how Bobby Lee was being a creep, right? And how Bobby Lee and Logan kind of made him look bad, and how they humiliated him, and showing his side of the story, because apparently his side wasn't shown because it was to kind of cover up what Bobby did in the show, in the Impulsive podcast, and how George had to just kind of just shut up and take it. Let's talk about what happened between George and Bobby Lee and how they covered it up. So let's watch the clip here.
Yeah. Okay, the Bobby Lee situation.
Who was the first person that jumped off the couch and said, George just left, that was not good, we have to fix this situation?
But did they not cut shit that you should have stood up for me and said, hey, you can't cut that shit? That's gonna make him look like an idiot for leaving.
Okay, let's slow down, and I'll answer that.
So remember that. So he said that they cut stuff out of the podcast, which they did. I was seeing this clip of Bobby showing his junk at George, trying to make him smell his junk, and George was just trying to like be a sport about it, but it's it's a little disturbing. Bobby gets away with it because he's a cringy dude, right? That's what he does.
We have always cut. This is all healthy, by the way. We have always cut.
Start crying.
No. Which by the way would be healthy. We have numerous times on the show, which I'm sure a number of shows do, cut things that we believe will protect the integrity or reputation of the guest.
That protected nobody but him.
No, of the guest. That's what I'm trying.
Well, what about the guy that you break bread with, bro?
But we
That is true. Mike is right that I cut stuff out. People on podcasts, cut stuff out, but the problem is that they cut some of the things that Bobby did.
We removed a number of things that you said on the podcast.
Name one.
Well, no, I'm not going.
Booty, bro.
No. Do you want me to? There was something that you said on the laser beam episode.
What laser beam episode?
Do you remember laser beam in Australia when we did that episode? I'd rather not say. I can tell. Why don't I just tell you?
Just tell me. I'll beep it.
You said something about like laughing at a girl getting hit in like a parking lot. You saw like a fight.
Yeah, I just said the joke wrong.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I didn't sexually harass somebody, man.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not.
Sometimes jokes don't come out right, and I think he's right about that. Like, yeah, I mean, he's probably like, yeah, you don't have to cut that out, but you guys are cutting out something that actually happened to me, and I don't think that was as bad as what Bobby did.
Trying to die 1-to-1. I'm just saying
okay, Mike, if this was an episode that was you, and what happened to you, and then the whole world thinks that I walked away because I can't take a joke, that's fucked, bro.
That's fucked. It parlayed into more stuff happening.
Yeah, that's messed up because, you guys know that podcast cringe, too lazy to try, comedy reinforcement, dropped the hammer on George, saying that he was humiliated, he was not being a good sport, and it just made him look bad all around. And I get George, like, the people out there that make content like myself don't know the full story, but we only show you parts that we actually can show you, or has been kind of out, that has been out there, that has been clipped, right? But when something goes out there and we don't know the full context, and the person does, they will get a little upset, and that's understandable.
Down the line, like, it just became, at that point, you saw me, I went on Bobby's show.
Yeah.
Right?
And they cut around it. You said that
I have no control over that.
I try to make peace with this guy.
I know.
You've seen me.
Yeah.
I've tried to make peace with him behind closed doors. I try to reach out. I try to be cool. But by the way, and I'll just say this, we'll just empty it out. I never had a problem with Bobby Lee.
No, he knows
I
that.
had a problem with the way that Logan and you were kind of gassing him to keep doing. He started the episode putting his balls in my face. I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds, he kept grabbing my dick.
I don't think...
How would you feel if a man that has his back completely towards you, that only turns around to grab your dick,
Right.
talk shit to your face, and you can't smack or beat the living brakes off of this guy?
Okay, so that right there, yeah, that's freaking messed up, dude. And Bobby knows what he's doing, right? And ultimately giving him the disrespect of putting his back out, facing himself and giving George his back is very disrespectful. And the only times he would turn around is when he would like talk shit to him or roast him, right? And also grab his dick. And anybody normal, reasonable would be like, what the hell, dude? What the heck is this? Like, just because you're a comedian, man, like, this is not right. This is just here, man. And if Bobby were to do that to me, or any of you guys, any in the audience here, any in the chat, like, what do you think your reaction would be? Unless maybe he's doing a live show, he does a live show, right? And he tells you, hey, can I grab your dick? And he's like, and you're like, yeah, sure, Bobby, grab my dick. Then you're giving Bobby consent. But in this situation, I don't think George gave him consent, and that's why he's bothered by it. And if it was consensual, he would never be saying this at all. I think that's kind of like what I see here.
Because Logan makes me apologize to this man, or I don't have a job on Impulsive anymore. How fucking crazy is that?
I don't think
Okay, and that I remember him doing because Logan went on Bobby's podcast and he called up George.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I know exactly where you're at right now.
Let me talk to him. Bro, someone wants to talk to you, bro. He knew. Put on the mic, probably. Hi, George. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I want to let's talk for a second. Are you driving?
Okay. No, I'm not driving.
Okay. I want to apologize for my behavior on your podcast. I feel like I was a little...
Bobby Lee, you shut your mouth. I'm apologizing to you. I left you. You were our guest. And I left you, Bobby.
This is good.
I will forever regret that for the rest of my fucking life. There's not a day I will lay my head on that pillow and not know that I disappointed a prince that does stand up like you. Do you have any idea how ashamed of myself I am?
Wow. Oh my God.
Of you?
Well, I'm gonna.
So sorry.
Thank you.
Please don't
Thank you for saying that.
to me.
But I want to pull back my apology then, because I too, because I literally did not feel sorry.
Pull out.
I pulled out of the apology. I don't feel sorry, but I will accept yours, right? And hopefully, when I come back to your podcast, we can make it right.
Absolutely.
No, but can I ask you a question though? Why did you do that?
Because Logan was gaslighting me and he's an asshole.
Exactly. Exactly.
I told you it was my fault. I told you it was my fault.
It was your fault. Yeah. So, good. I feel like the war is done. Is the war over?
Absolutely.
Right. There's no war.
It's over, guys.
Wow.
It was never a war.
Yeah.
If you would have came and punched me in the face, I would have said thank you.
Yeah, and I gave you compliments. I called you a fat Oscar Isaac. That was good.
I mean,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
it's in my life.
Right. Like if they do a fat Dune, you could be in that.
You said I look like Oscar ate all the sand. And
It doesn't look good because Logan is trying to do maybe some damage control, trying to bury this to not make Bobby look as bad. And the way that Bobby kind of wanted to apologize first is because it's admission of his, what he did wrong. But at the time, George couldn't say anything because his job depended on it. He didn't want to shake things up. He didn't want to kind of expose him because, you know, if he would have called him and he said, yeah, because you were touching my junk or whatever, they would cut that part out. Tiger Belly would cut that part out, and you'll never see it, and you'll never see the segment. But George was being a good sport when Logan called him, and he was able to kind of do damage control.
I understood. I can only speak for myself.
Bro, it's
I
not a
hope
group
you.
chat.
I hope you can
It's not a
understand
group
that.
chat.
No,
And when I asked him
I'm talking
point
about.
blank,
No, I'm talking about during. No, I'm talking about during the episode because there was. I didn't know that you were feeling.
But after the
type of
episode,
way
do you
about
remember
it.
when you called me? And I said, Mike, this is all that happens. And you said verbatim, you said, it's our fault for not telling you this, but me and Logan are really the ones who should be talking to the guest. You are really there for a boys only episode. So while I get sexually harassed, my other co-host is trying to fire me, and you're trying to leverage me to be quiet during other guests. But also, let me just bring it back to the Bobby Lee thing, because I didn't want to settle this right now. I've been so quiet about this shit, bro. Bobby, if you're which you are watching, I know you're watching. I'm not mad at you.
Look, people think he's not watching. I think he is. I think George, his producer or whoever, probably showed him this, and knowing Bobby, he's probably like reeling, like, oh man, I'm gonna get canceled again. I don't think Bobby is cancelable anymore. And George was like, you know what, like, it's no problem to me, so nothing's gonna happen to Bobby. But I'm sure he won't acknowledge this at any point because it does look bad. It does look bad for him, and he's not gonna talk about it. I don't think he is. Maybe he will. Maybe I'll do a follow-up if he does.
I'm not mad at you because I know who you are, bro. I know you're using comedy to get out of an uncomfortable situation. I know you're just messing around me. I know even you, when you were grabbing my dick, you weren't doing it because you're like, oh, I want to sexually harass this kid. I know you were doing it because you're a comedian, you're being fun. What hurt me is that I didn't do anything, and I got all the smoke for it, bro. Like all of it. And then he called me fucking Ringo and make jokes on that shit. And then on the podcast, Logan made me apologize to him, bro. If this was anybody else, and this was the old version of me, dog, this would have been held a lot more different. A lot more different.
That was it, dude. It was. You're right. I mean, it was in a lot of ways. It was a clusterfuck. I think. And by the way, the whole time,
both of them.
The whole time,
right now, my story.
The whole time.
No, I mean, look, he's right. He's right. He could have destroyed Bobby, and he didn't. And he's like, George. I don't know why George is doing this. Is like, in the name of comedy, Bobby is just being Bobby. But damn, bro, like, sometimes comedy doesn't mean you're gonna get sexually harassed for fun. Or like, if he was a girl and Bobby, which I don't probably think. Well, actually, you know what? There are clips of Bobby kissing, trying to kiss and women on the news.
TV, I'm so
Bobby,
sorry.
let's talk about your hair. Can we talk about what is it with the Addison Improv guys with
The comedians at Addison Improv? I
They
don't know
love
what
you.
it is.
No, you're being.
Oh, it's like in the
A little sneak
neck.
attack, you know? Ask me, please.
Are
Can I
there-
touch your legs? Because they're so nice.
Are there
Don't touch mine.
Are there comedians?
I think maybe Bobby's just kind of grandfathered in with his that it's just kind of normal now. And I think it's a little weird. I think Bobby should stop doing this shit after this one. I think might be the last straw. Like, if he keeps doing this kind of thing, he's gonna be more creepier and creepier. I don't know about this comedy, right? This shouldn't be comedy. And if it was funny, right, and as they say, they wouldn't have cut it out. But they knew it looked bad and they cut it out. So I think George is trying to defend Bobby because he doesn't want to, cancel anybody or Me Too Bobby. He doesn't want to be spotlighted as a Me Too victim by Bobby Lee. So he's trying to forgive him for doing that in the name of comedy, which is, bro, yeah, sure.
I said, dude, like, I said to Bobby when you left, especially, you're going too hard on him. It became. Here was the difference. I think with Bobby and with any comedian, your reaction to those jokes from the beginning are what gave him the fire to keep doing it.
And I wanted him
Because
to keep doing it. I thought it was
no, because
fun,
you
bro.
weren't. Well, you didn't seem like you were having fun. You seemed affected.
No, when it's
and when you show it with
when
those
I got
with those
affected,
motherfuckers, Bobby Burr, all of them, bro.
Well, no.
As soon as you start taking something serious, they're
did.
gonna fucking
They
dig.
did.
They're gonna get. They
my
get their teeth
problem
in you. They're gonna
was
rip your
not
flesh
with.
off.
It was not with Bobby. It was with. I'm not grouping you guys, but you guys. Like, you know why? Because bro, like
What did you want me to do?
Bro, I always got the
Swing on Logan? You were the one that said you wanted to.
No.
How come you did it?
No. Hold on. First of all, shame on me for
And weeks before that, you probably told me that you wanted to hit me.
Smack
you had
you.
a whole fucking whole episode, George Janko.
So I look, he should be mad at all of them. He should be mad at Logan. He should be mad at Bobby, especially Bobby, for getting away with shit like that and letting Logan let him get away with stuff. And Mike being an accomplice to that certainly didn't help out, and that maybe kind of helped him push himself out of the podcast because he figured out maybe nobody here has my back. And I'm just kind of like the prop in this show, right? Which is, sad.
Wants to assault our co-host.
I apologize for
Everybody
that.
always wanted to hit me.
I apologize, and I never swung. I think that somebody should fucking consider that. I never swung. Never
Why was
once.
I always getting abused, bro?
Shut up.
The audience,
You
no, the
shut up.
audience,
No.
no, the audience will never believe it. So it doesn't matter what I say because they'll never believe it. 'Cause
Good,
I'll always,
good.
I know you're right.
So,
but you know,
the reason I
know
was
it,
upset,
dude.
I just want to make this very, very clear. The real version of why I was upset is because, bro, this is like the freaking Shaq episode. I can't hear the guy. It's here, and then I get clowned on it, and they use it to, bro. I told Dylan 100 fucking times. I said, bro, I can't hear this guy. I can't hear this guy.
Yeah, but
and
George,
we're in a live audience.
there's always a butt of the joke. As soon as you left the show, who do you think became the butt of the fucking joke again, George?
You.
Yeah, the drug addict, 40-year-old hairless loser. Okay,
Not hairless
Logan, he's gonna make George the prop. Yeah, that's messed up, man.
anymore.
So correct. Well, I got a little more. Thanks, Turkey. Smile Hair Clinic. Use my code Mike. Dude, like you just became the butt for that time, and unfortunately, it just got carried away, got serious, and then had a situation that became a business focus.
So I'm gonna show you guys Andrew Santino talking to George Janko about the Bobby Lee thing. So, all right, so here we got the clip that I'm going to try to show you guys. And it's also on the Bad Friends Pod subreddit, right? I mean, even the subreddit, the Bad Friends subreddit is mad at Bobby here. So this clip is called Continuation about the Bobby Lee incident.
Do you know about what happened in this very room with that man in this very
Yeah, we talked a little bit off the air a little bit about this, and my best friend Bobby Lee, who I do a podcast with, Bad Friends, he assaulted you, and he called me moments ago, and I told him that you were putting together a team of attorneys to
a few of them.
Yeah, and you should.
Could you be in my documentary?
There you go. You see that right there, how even Andrew was like, you got assaulted, and also in a joking way said you should, you should, and then George is like, you should get your attorneys out there.
Room with that man in this very
we talked a little bit off the air a little bit about this, and my best friend Bobby Lee, who I do a podcast with, Bad Friends, he assaulted you, and he called me.
Obviously, they cut it off. They cut that part out where he was grabbing his junk. And even Andrew Santino, who is Bobby Lee's quote-unquote best friend, said that, yeah, that's messed up. And let's continue this.
Months ago, and I told him that you were putting together a team of attorneys to
a few of them.
Yeah, and you should.
Could you be in my documentary? I'm thinking I'm gonna be brave next week. Just really come out and talk about it.
I don't know, man.
No, honestly, and I said this again off stream, but we'll say this here.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Everybody's trying to just defend Bobby's actions here. Because, also Andrew he leans on Bobby for content. I mean, especially the podcast that they do.
It had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with my friends. I was going through things, and it was a learning curve.
Can you say what you were going through or no?
no, see, you're giving him the lob that I gave him. He's gonna break out into some serious shit at the wrong time.
I don't want to walk on you, bro. So
No, but you can break out of serious stuff as long as you're okay with.
See, like, George here, he's trying to be nice. He's trying to bury the hatchet, as they say, right? If he were to expose him, maybe when he was getting roasted by all these YouTube channels, then, ooh, it would look super bad on Bobby, right? And Bobby would probably have to respond to it or not. Who knows? I don't know. But this clip kind of just shows that George is telling the truth. And that's what I'm just trying to show you.
With me making fun of it a little bit.
No. I'm totally used to that now, thanks to your friend.
Yeah, well,
you know, it's also everybody comes up to me now on the street. They're like, "Yo, dude, and by the way, bro, sorry about that Bobby Lee thing." And I was like, "Bro, this is because it's Island Boys and Bobby Lee. This is what I'm known for."
the Island Boys clip was funny. That was
you
very
crushed
that was
that. You
very
crushed
funny to
that.
me, man.
Do you know?
But the Island Boys thing made him look good. It made him look good compared to the Bobby Lee stuff. He just looked like a bad co-host, a bad podcaster, a bad comedian, couldn't take jokes. And that's why he's mad about it. And that's why he had to talk about the actual truth of what happened. The whole thing just made him look bad. And I'm honestly, I'm just I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by Bobby and how much he gets away with this stuff, because he shouldn't be doing this. Like, he should just stop this. This is not funny. This is not comedy. Grabbing somebody's junk and saying it's comedy, and then George trying to like defend Bobby because he's the one that ultimately angered him. And then it was also, you know, Logan Paul who didn't have his back because maybe thought that it would be some great content. You know, all around, this is just not great for anybody here. It doesn't look good for George. It doesn't look good for Logan. It doesn't look good for anybody here. It's just not great. And now we finally see the whole thing. We see, well, maybe not the whole thing, but we see some of the things that went wrong and how and why George reacted that way and why he left. Hopefully, you know, Bobby, being an old grown man, can have the balls to say, hey, you know, George, my bad. I did something bad. I just shouldn't do that shit no more, and try to not do that ever again, because this is the ultimate. I think this is ultimately the thing that kind of like pushes people away from Bobby, and you know, people liking Bobby because of this. I just like, honestly, I'm shocked by this as somebody who liked Bobby, who likes Bobby, who watches Tiger Belly, who you know, Bad Friends is all right, but I was shocked by this, because all these communities, all these, you know, YouTube, you know, creators made videos about George looking bad, and now we get the whole context of it, and I have yet to see any of them kind of like, you know, do corrections on it and, you know, talk about George's side of the story. Even though George, I think it's dumb for him to say like, yeah, I mean, he sexually harassed me, but it's comedy. I think it's dumb. But yeah, I mean, man, that's freaking sucks, man. Honestly, that sucks all around. I think I'm gonna end this here, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys for another one. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Bye bye.